Hello guys, this is Olympia Yo coming at you with a new segment that I'm going to be doing, which is the Forgotten Cards of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now this is going to include meta cards, well, cards that I feel should be in the meta, and just cards that, were once played a long time ago and kind of just been forgotten about, just, going through the different stages of the games and formats. Now, yeah, so the first card that I'm going to kick off with is Night Beam. If you don't know what Night Beam does, Night Beam came out in Galactic Overlord, so a couple of sets ago, and it is basically a normal spell card that came out in Ultra and Ultimate. Has the following effect: target one set spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Your opponent cannot activate the targeted card in response to this card's activation. Basically, if you have a face down, say, compulsory evacuation device, and your opponent has a compulsory evacuation device set, you activate Night Beam, they can't then chain the activation to send a monster back on the field to the hand. Now, the way to get out of it is if you have two set cards, for example, they have two set cards, you activate Night Beam, both of them are compulsory evacuation devices, they chain the non-targeted compulsory evacuation device, and then chain the targeted compulse to the activation of their compulse. So basically, they can activate it, but they have to chain it with a different card that isn't targeted. So it kind of, it's the best thing about it is, one, you put them in an awkward position where they either have to force cards to get off their activations, or they have to lose a card. Now, this card isn't really used very often. I haven't seen it used much, to be honest, in the meta. It's kind of fallen out of favour because it used to be, well, it was hyped a little bit, not as much as obviously other cards are now. It was hyped, but not anymore. Probably, I think, overshadowed the fact that, you've got Heavy Storms, you've got 3 MST, you've got Dust Tornadoes and Wild Tornadoes and, whatever, all those. And Night Beam is... it's not quick enough for a lot of people. Like MSTs, obviously, you can set its quick play. Heavy Storm just kind of blankets everything, so it's better. Dust Tornado, obviously, you can activate it whenever. So yeah, I mean, I can see why. But looking at the meta now, we have so much back row. We have Mermals that are tier 1. Mermals, obviously, their big card is Abyss Sphere. You activate Night Beam, they're probably only going to set one thing. You activate Night Beam, that's because they search for it as well. Activate it, they can't do anything. So it just really helps slow them down a little bit. And with so much back row, Night Beam's just good if you play it right. Though a lot of people think it's a splashable thing. You can just do boom, MST. It's kind of like your blind MST. No, you can't do that with this card. This card doesn't work like that. This card needs to be taken into consideration. You need to look at what your opponent's playing. I think this is a really good side card. I don't think it's as good as Game 1, depending on what deck you're playing. For example, I use this in my Heretics. I did main it in Heretics just because it was just really useful in Heretics, don't like back row. So any deck like that, can't stand back row, I think it's really good in. So, yeah, I mean, I can understand why people don't play it, as I said before, but I feel that this card it's not being played as much as I think it should. I think it deserves to be played, and it's, I just don't understand why. Maybe because, a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh community and trends go off the big players, and if they don't do something, then other people won't. I know that's very linear thought and kind of putting a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh community in it's kind of sheep community, but that's kind of how it goes. So that's it really. But I really think this card has really good potential. I still think it can surprise a lot of people, and it can put a lot of people in awkward situations, because if they have to start chaining stuff, starting their own chains. Well, not starting, but kicking up their own chains just to activate the card you've targeted. You're making them minus themselves in most cases. So I just think this is a good card that should always be looked at and considered at least. If you're running quite like an OTK deck, for example, or something like that. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I'm going to try and do one every week. It probably won't necessarily be every Monday. I just kind of wanted to get another video up just for you guys. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of Night Beam. Do you like it? Do you not? And why not? And yeah, like, subscribe, and comment below. Cheers, guys. Catch you later.